and a knight and 0 pawns.
Ooh.
Okay, no, yeah.
Zero. Or
it's like
the other way. The other way.
Game.
Sorry, the other way. 𝗏𝗧𝗬𝗏 is the one with the knights, and 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗦 is the one with no pawns.
Does this give you their vibes of their like endgame in 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗘 Steel? It's like weird. It wasn't exactly the same, but very similar.
Very similar. But in the meantime, I think normal circumstances, 𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗏 cannot really win. His lack of pawns, it feels like he's fighting for the draw. But it should be getting close now. Neither side has enough checkmating material. If all the pawns disappear, a draw almost guaranteed.
Yeah, it's kind of wicked. Black can trade a rook and a knight for just 3 pawns, and the game is a draw. Like, this is so messed up. That and now you can just take 1. Knight takes b4, and then you can just go sacrifice your pieces for the other.
Assign like a defender to each one. You take that one, I'll take that one.
Yeah,
and you can. The greatest thing is you can just give up a piece.
Yeah, which is in case anybody doesn't know, king and 2 knights, you cannot win unless the opponent tries to lose.
Yeah, they have to play into your hands.
Yes.
Makes 0 sense, right? You have 2 extra knights, you've done all the hard work, and you still cannot win. But it looks likely that that might be the end of this game.
It makes even less sense that 1 pawn for the opponent added will give you winning chances. But we won't. This is the community stream, all right? This is not the legend stream.
Oh, you got the check on the board, and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he's always trying to find ideas, trying to trick his opponent. He's always hungry for a win, and he's looking for ways to combine those 2 knights with the 2G and the H pawn. They're still alive. So does 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 still need to be careful? Because
absolutely.
That pawn gets on G6, the H pawn arrives on H6, and
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, he tries to find chances everywhere.
Yeah.
He just fights and fights, and you know, sometimes he overpresses. Don't remember too many examples. Sometimes it like works to perfection, and you know, this is ambition. This is what we sign up to see. And look at there are some mates there. Knight f5, knight e7.
Knight f5, knight e7, H pawn joining the party. I think this is still dangerous for the world champion. This for 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, she has to be very careful. Notice how the c6 square right now is controlled by that white center knight, so you don't have a check there.
Yeah, we're kind of looking at 2 different positions on the screen. So
And the third one.
We're looking bottom right for the
bottom right is the current position, it looks like.
There we go. And yeah, white's pieces are a bit loose though. The knights aren't anchored. They aren't on outposts, not protected by pawns. So 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, I could see a world in which he takes a bit too much risk and blunders something himself, giving some checks now. But as we say, fighting, trying to eke out a win here.
Well, the real question is, will 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 try to repeat, right? I mean,
H8, F8.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 isn't a fan of repetitions, though.
Good.
That's yeah.
But he is inviting it.
This is a draw for, I mean, knight f7, of course.
Yeah, this isn't going to be one of those cases where he declines the repetition. I think that might be just too much.
Knight d4 to f7. Do we get 1 illegal move in freestyle chess? Like, nope.
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏's playing for the win.
Yeah.
He doesn't go for the check.
I love it.
I can relate. Yeah.
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 is a gangster. Yesterday, the players were discussing a rule change in the technical meeting, and he was just shaking his head and cracking up to himself. Like he was the only one who was objecting to it. It was 1 second bonus on move 60 of the Armageddon. He just didn't want it. He just wanted to fight to the death. And I was like, my man, that is what we call an Uzbek tiger. You know, like, what a beast. And both of these guys is awesome. They want to play for a win. I'm not sure this position quite justifies it. I think the guy with the pawns is going to only has the winning chances, but there we go. Knight g7 ideas, like block any check. It's crazy.
White's making. There's an illusion of progress.
Yes.
But it is. I think it's still an illusion for now. Like rook g8. What's wrong with rook g8 check?
Knight g7.
Of course, it's a
a pass. But knight g7, maybe like rook f8.
I mean, what do you want me to do? Not play for a win? I mean, I mean, what
actually, yes. White could get mated. Like knight f5, g5,
knight f4.
But again, look at the clock. 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏
We laugh,
moves with 5 seconds.
Ooh, yeah, let's show that.
You know who won't be laughing.
Oh wait, this has happened.
Yeah.
So show the idea. You got to show it. Rook f8.
I haven't passed my proverbial driver's license.
Oh.
I mean, I actually have.
Rook f8 played.
Done in rook f8.
g5, knight f4.
g5 is checkmate in 1.
Yeah, but this assumes that 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 will miss mate in 1, which is a rare occurrence.
Well, anything in g5
I don't know if it's ever happened.
Yeah.
He set it up though. He's taken away some squares from the white king.
Okay. A knight move has been made. There will be no mate in 1, sadly.
With knight f4, he's got only move. David.
Yeah, and the board again. There's
let's refresh the big board, but we have the small board.
Let's see. No, it's not bad.
there we go.
Or no.
Live position.
I might be able to. Yeah. Okay.
I really wish you could play rook takes h6 here, but you can't.
I have a feeling.
Ah, now you can. Rook
You
h6.
can, and
Not-
f6.
Ooh, what is happening here? I have a feeling we're still in for some turns and twists in this game. It's not over yet, the drama in this one.
Rook g6.
Rook g6, yeah.
It's such a precarious
Rook g6, knight h4, still no mate. Unfortunately.
Knight f. I mean, there's so many ways to eliminate these 2 pawns.
Yeah, knight h4, knight f6 takes, you take both pawns, and then you play for a win, maybe. Okay, it's obviously a draw, but...
Oh, that's a forcing line. That's a really nice spot, actually.
Yeah, knight
Let me
h4.
see if I can actually draw. We'll start with an arrow, but no.
So the knight goes back right now, attacking the rook from the h4 square, and then Levy's idea of just giving up the knight from f6, disconnecting the 2 pawns.
It's a draw. Knight h4, you can even play rook h6. Pawn takes knight f6, king g5, knight e4.
Levy, we get it. You found one fancy way of doing it.
I want two. Like,
I see a third.
Yeah, you see it? What's the third? What's the third?
Just knight f4 and then rook takes h6.
Right, yeah. You can take all my pieces. It doesn't really matter.
Another one,
98. I think 98 could be tried, actually.
Oh, 98
Has
does
some
keep the
teeth,
game
actually.
going.
I'm like trying to find the clean force draw for 98, and I can't quite. I mean, I'm also just trying to give up the knight and the rook. Maybe I should try like playing a move that doesn't sack the knight.
Point is, if 𝗚𝗨𝗏 finds a way to lose, it's more impressive than all of us. So I don't think it's that simple to make a draw. But we're not sitting
Not
inside.
really good under pressure, though. It's like, I mean, maybe he should try the World Championship, but I don't think he's ready
Yeah,
yet.
no.
Oh,
It's the
wait a
clock
sec.
situation that I'm a bit worried about. We're just under 20 seconds. There's so many knights on the board. You can walk into a fork so easily. Allow that g-pawn one step forward. Big trouble. So the defensive task isn't over for 𝗚𝗏𝗏.
Just feels like Აბდუსათროვ's trying to set the tone for his own tournament. He knows this is going to be a draw no matter what, most likely, and he just wants to play himself into form. Often having a long game at the beginning of a long day is the best way to warm up.
Oh, that's epic. What a move. Yeah, I was actually about to say you can sack the knight and play rook h6, just like you said. I can sack the rook.
And
Yeah,
this is playing into the idea you talked about, right? Happy to trade both minor pieces as long as I get both pawns off the board.
He's going to sacrifice. If knight takes knight, rook takes h6, you give up.
You
know, it's like it's like good hotels take care of all the small things. 𝗚𝗏𝗏, he draws with grace.
But 𝗏𝗏𝗏, he's so desperate to keep the game going. He doesn't pick up that knight. He instead moves the king. So at least it's on. The fight is still on. By the way, the other is big 𝗏𝗏𝗏, I can just spot him from our room. He's walking around still some time in the middle of the 2 games.
White's not winning. The White can't even give a check in 3 moves. Like, how do you?
I wouldn't say he's desperate to let's say, but yeah, he's just annoying 𝗚𝗏𝗏. I mean, I think this is actually like a very intense rivalry. They just don't talk about it that much. I mean, they played at 2 Olympiads. They've played in Tada. Like, I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏 really wants to beat 𝗚𝗏𝗏.
All the time.
He
And
did right at the Olympiad to stop his streak.
Yeah.
That's where it started. That's where the rivalry started. 22 Chennai Olympiad, and that's the win that decided the podium finish.
Yeah, we need to get both these guys on camera saying that at least 20% of the stuff Hans Niemann says, and they will be superstars. Like like 𝗚𝗏𝗏 needs to get on. I mean, I really hate this guy. He's always like playing on against me. He doesn't respect me. 𝗏𝗏𝗏, I just want to beat him. But no, they're very respectful. They stick to the chess, and okay, maybe we will get a checkmate. There it is.
There it is.
Sacrificing everything.
Like king g4.
Woo!
No.
Now, is
You
this
claim a draw? Yeah,
Wait.
you can. I have a story about.
Is 𝗏𝗏𝗏 going to play this for the 50
But I had a
move?
moment in the World Team Championship. Next to me, Alexander Onishchuk was playing this GM, and he asked his opponent, "Is this a draw?" And it was knight bishop. No, they have to stop the clock. This is a draw.
Wait.
This is
Wait, did you see that? 𝗚𝗏𝗏 just looked at him. He was like, "What? Are we really doing this?"
What he's going to do is he's going to wait for 𝗚𝗏𝗏𝗏 to call the arbiter.
No, but I'm
it's sort
sorry.
of like this power.
But if you
What
get
are they
this on,
doing?
wait, if you
There's
get
no
this
way to
on,
win.
if you get this on chess.com, the game ends.
Automatically. After 50
Is
moves,
it
right? Not
possible to
instantly.
cooperate? Like, can you set up a mate with cooperation? I actually don't know.
Yeah, like let's say let's say it was the last round of a tournament and you needed someone to win, so you just like lost on purpose.
But they're not calling the arbiter. I mean,
No, I don't
𝗏𝗏𝗏
think
is the
there
one who has to do it.
But
He's
is there a
the one playing for the
hypothetical way to lose this? I actually don't know the answer to that question. I guess no, because.
You mean if you walk into a 1-move checkmate?
Yeah,
You'll
but
always have an option.
Like knight versus bishop, you can do that. There's been some major arguments